Hello world, it is Fancy Ellie here tonight on Transcending Origins. This week's topic, it's kind of a long one, so I'm going to read it off my BlackBerry here, is what is your vision of a fully transgendered inclusive organization? What would that organization be doing? How would we evaluate that organization had reached the same level of inclusiveness for transgender people as it had for gay, lesbian, and bisexual people? Well, my first thought on this initially is kind of my own experience with transgendered organizations. Probably about 4 or 5 years ago, I was actively looking for transgender organizations in the area, and certainly in Minnesota, I really with the only organizations that I was actually finding were consisting of mostly kind of elderly men who took transgenderism with kind of a sexual connotation. And I mean, I had joined several little online groups, and I would find sexual pictures posted up on there, and no regulation of how those were even being portrayed. And it's kind of this was a big put off for me, and I kind of think, well, what would I have actually really wanted in a transgender organization? And I guess what I really would idealistically like to have found at that point were basically other people like me, kind of going through the motions, and kind of something that's relatable, I guess. And to really mean by relatable is just maybe younger people going through transitioning, and I had consequently found it eventually, and this was kind of a more recent discovery, was through YouTube. And as kind of a strange thing for me as it is, it's YouTube kind of became my organization. It's kind of my where I found people I could actually relate to, and it's kind of unfortunate that it has to be distant, but the people on YouTube have been really great about expressing their concerns, and I don't know, this is exactly what I would idealistically have wanted with a transgender organization. Now, I don't think you can really place it in the same manner as a standard gay, lesbian, bisexual organization, just because with gay, lesbian, and bisexual organizations, there's kind of this I guess sense of pride. I mean, maybe this is just from my point of view, but there's this whole sense of gay pride that exists, and with transgender people, I guess really the goal is kind of especially you always see deep stealth stuff and other things like that for transgender people. It's the goal for transgender people is not to really be making a spectacle of ourselves, and not to really have to deal with that. We just want to be the other gender. And I mean, I guess to some extent that I can understand where advocacy groups are very necessary. And I think that's a little different, though, in regards to, I guess, a pride group. An advocacy group is a little bit more kind of a watchdog organization on the government, versus an advocacy group. I think there's a whole lot of, I guess, differences there. Anyways, I guess kind of in regards to actually how this typically goes for, I guess, the average transgender transgender person, is what I would kind of imagine is they'd kind of they get online, try to Google an organization in their area, and they kind of gauge their ability to transition on what they find. And as I said, within my case, I really couldn't find anything that was really worthwhile in my area. But consequently, through Googling and going on YouTube, I managed to actually find YouTube as my organization. And so I guess that's really where I stand with my perspective on transgender organizations. I really don't think you can put them up into the same context as the standard GLB part of the thing, and I guess that's kind of why it gets kind of cast into the GLBT, though I know for a fact that it really, in the GLBT community, the T is often overlooked. And so I can understand where wanting to develop a transgendered specific organization is there, but I mean, it's not under the same weight. Anyways, that is it for tonight. Good night, YouTube.